say. Hi. In case you're new here, which is all of you, what to talk about? Hi. Every time this camera points to me, I lose all train of thought, but regardless, we persevere. Hey guys, I have finally gotten used to talking to the camera. I have lugged this thing around with me for days. It is now officially 2025. I have done so much in the last couple of weeks. I have been kind of burnt out actually because I've been traveling so much. I didn't film this because I didn't have this camera then, but for work I had a conference in Denver in December where I was working really long hours. It's the one conference of the year that I have to go to, and I had a lot of fun, but it was a lot of work. And so I came back and I was like ready to rest. And I didn't really have time because then I had to go to Florida to visit my parents. And then after Florida, I went home and I decided to dog sit. It's something I do like a couple times a year, if that, and it's only for one family. They have this beautiful dog, Millie. Congrats to Millie. She got her first dog period all over their white comforter. Since I've been home, I feel like I have been on a roll. I've cleaned out so much of this apartment. So you can kind of see the background. I have a small, it's not like the most stunning apartment, but I've definitely made it my home. Boyfriend and I, we live here together. We've been together for 4 years and we've lived here for a little over a year now, and it's small. We're going to get a house in May. So when I was dog sitting, I actually was working on like my 2025 New Year's resolutions, my budget, my annual budget for the year, because I always try to create a budget and then I never stick to it. And then I'm always questioning every month where my money's going because I have no idea. So I sat down and I looked at the averages of what I spend every month and I put budget numbers on it, and I'm hopefully going to try to stick with it this year because we want to buy a house in May. That is when our lease ends here. And I don't want to use all of my savings just to put a down payment. I want to have some left. I worked a little bit on the book that I was writing, and I cleared out my computer because it was atrocious for editing, and I've been using it for writing, and I just feel like it had all my old college stuff on it, and most of that stuff is useless to me now except for like professional writing that I can use in my portfolio. I also have been making and eating a lot healthier. One of my resolutions was to eat healthier in the new year. One reason for that actually is because I went to the doctor last week, and a couple months before that I went on a diet and I took gluten out of my diet, and I lost like 10 pounds in like 2 to 3 days. It was kind of a scary drop, and so it made me kind of question whether gluten for me is inflammatory, whether it's something I may be allergic to. I wasn't sure because I have had gluten my entire life. Like, I actually lived off of gluten in high school. I was a manager at a pizza place, so I'm not even kidding. There was not a day that I went without gluten until 2024. So it didn't make sense to me how you can develop this all of a sudden. And I slowly, after a month, started adding gluten back in my diet to see what would happen. And all of these weird things were happening. Like, I would get horrible migraines. I didn't even know that was connected to gluten. I would have horrible stomach problems. And then I started to get a rash, like, under my eye. And it's almost gone now. I'm almost like a week or 2 weeks fully gluten-free. No sourdough, no anything. Sourdough doesn't make my stomach hurt, but I was still having this horrible eye rash. It made no sense. And it was just like, I felt like it made me like depressed after I ate it. Like, I could sense the day after a shift in my mood. So I went to the doctor. She thinks it's a gluten sensitivity, but I'm wondering if it's more than that, if it's an allergy, because I've been having weird medical problems for the last year and they have not been able to figure it out. So I'm hopefully going to see an allergist soon. Another thing in 2025 to just, burden you all with my medical stories is that I have to get a nose job. They actually called it more than a nose job. They called it a facial reconstruction, which was a crazy word to hear at the ENT, the ears, nose, and throat doctor, because I have always had abnormally small nostrils. Like, look, that's ridiculous. Like, you can hear me trying to breathe through my nose. It's horrible. So I've been a mouth breather my entire life, and I finally met my deductible last year, so I was like, I'm gonna tell my doctor about it, and maybe I have a deviated septum, because, free nose job. And I did have I do, they've done nothing to fix it, I do have a deviated septum, and they wanted to send me the ENT so they can confirm 3 months, trying to get there sooner because I was on a wait list. They finally saw me. He saw me for 10 to 15 minutes, looked at my nose, and was like, yeah, you have abnormally small nostrils. Didn't know that was a diagnosis. It is. Then he told me that I do have a deviated septum, but that's 10% of my problems, that my nasal valve in my nose has collapsed. So he's like, you have 3 things that are preventing you from breathing. Got it. And he was like, okay, so you're gonna need like facial reconstruction. Like, I can't do anything for you. You need significantly more than I can do. So now I have an appointment to see a plastic surgeon, and I have to wait another 3 months. I was supposed to see them in March, and they moved back my appointment today until May. So who knows if I'll even get this in 2025. So if you have any nose inspiration that you want to send me, please do.